Okay, I use a Traqmate basic system with the two Mobius cameras recording in the car. They record to .mov files in 1080, 30 frames a second, and great quality. And I like to make I do picture-in-picture, and I do the data overlay, and I put them on YouTube. Then when I'm done with that, and when I want to just keep them for archive and use them with Traqmate down the road, I keep my fastest session of the excuse me, of the event, and I take the two video files from that and I merge them together using race render, and then I compress them down. But if you don't use two video cameras and you use one, we'll start with a single camera first. So here's a file from a typical track day, and it's 2.2 gigs for 19 minutes, 20-minute session, a couple gigs. That's a lot to start storing. And really for me, I only want to be able to look back on these and see the fast lap and just see where I'm going on the track, and if I'm making my marks, or if I did anything different back then to what I'm doing now. So I need to be able to see my way around the track, but not in super high quality anymore. So let's compress these. So the program I use is called MPEG Stream Clip. It is free. Just type in MPEG Stream Clip like that and download it. It's Windows and Mac. So we're going to throw it in. It works exactly the same on Windows and Mac, but some of the codecs that are loaded are based on your system. If you install it on Windows, it asks you to install something called QuickTime Alternative, which is free. Or if you want to install QuickTime, but I believe you have to pay a small amount for that. But basically, so we have it in here. This is also a great way to cut down a video file and not change it. It's also on Mobius. I use the time date stamp, which I think is very important to just keep a handle on everything. So, for example, if you go up here and hit File Save As, this will save it in exactly the same format as the source file. So there's no transcoding to something else. It's the purest and cleanest. It's basically just cutting it down and keeping it exactly the same. So if you wanted to edit the beginning and end off of something, you could do it this way and keep the highest quality. This is not a tool for joining files, but it's a good tool for cutting them down. But in this case, we want to reduce this file. And so not take up drive space. So our goal would be to, I don't know, let's say get it down to around 200, 300 megs from 2 gigs, which is a pretty huge drop. So we're going to go up to File and hit Export to MPEG 4. Now here it defaults to H.264, which is fine. It may be on something else on your computer, on a Windows computer. Just set it on H.264. It will be in there. And I suggest a quality setting anywhere between 35 and 50. I'm going to put it on 35. And then another thing to do here is let's bring it down to 720. You could bring it down even more, but we'll just bring it down to 720. And let's see, audio we can bring down to 96. Audio is not good in this. In general. So we're putting on H.264 and reducing the quality. And actually, I forgot to do one thing. Right, that would have done the entire 19-minute file. But let's just say, oh, and it's important with Traqmate, you have to, Traqmate syncs to the video based on the start time. So the Traqmate starts recording data and triggers the Mobius to turn on at the exact same time. So your sync point is the first frame. So let's just go forward and pick an out point, I don't know, roughly 10 seconds. So as you can see, we have an out point 10 seconds there. By the way, you can hit the I key and the out key to select in and out here. So I'm just going to do 10 seconds now for the sake of keeping this quick. But we go back here, and this is still on 35% H.264. we reduced the audio rate and we brought it down to 720. So let's make the movie, and we'll just give it a garbage name. And we'll see what we get. And if it's decent enough, you may have to switch between 35% and 50% to your liking in terms of what you can handle. Alright, so here's the file, and it is 2.5 megs. So that's 2.5 times 6 roughly for a minute times 19 minutes. It's going to get it down to around 285 megs for that 19-minute session, which is good. So let's look at this. Now it's choppy and blocky, as you can see, but I can see the cone, I can see the lines on the road, and I can read the timestamp. So this is perfect for me. So now I have a file that's much smaller, and I can keep right in the folder with the Traqmate file locked, and when I open that session, or I could create a analysis file, which has the video locked to it, and we keep the space good. Okay, so that is for single camera stuff. For dual camera stuff, what I would suggest doing is I use race render for my high quality video overlay videos. But so at the end of when I'm done, when I've made my nice high quality video for YouTube, I want to archive the two camera stuff. I can't do that with MPEG Stream Clip. I can't do an overlay with that. So I need to use Race Render. And by the way, Race Render is an awesome program, and I believe Traqmate is. I know they're selling it and pushing it, and hopefully there'll be some integration with it soon. But it is the best for doing this. I'm a video editor by trade. I have lots of other tools that can do picture-in-picture, but for the sake of this, I believe Race Render Ultimate is, I don't know, $40 or $50, something like that. So it's definitely worth the money. I just create a simple project. You create new project, picture-in-picture, and then I basically make my interior shot bigger than I maybe would have in my YouTube video, and I don't have any other data in here. This is just going to be locked into the Traqmate file, so I want to reference as I look through that session and my fast lapse, just like with a single camera. Alright, so here we're going to go into create video, and we want to change it down to 720, and I was experimenting with this. I went down to 2000 kbps and minimal picture quality, and it wasn't great, but I could live with this. So let's go here, and let's just do a 10-second test and see what we get with these settings. Give it a garbage name. Okay, so here we have a 10-second video, and it is 3 megs. So that is, it's probably not going to look that good. Let's see if this is manageable or not. It's interesting. The insert picture does not seem to be as blocky as the other picture. Well, basically I can see what I need to see, and this is also a 720 file too, so we brought down the overall size. Alright, so that concludes this. This is just a good way to reduce file size. This would be, what was this one? This was what, 2 megs? 2.5 megs. Yeah, so these will come in 300-ish. This one should be around 300 megs, coming down from having two 2.2 gig files. You're merging them, and now you're down to around 300 megs. So it's a good way to keep the video that's attached to Traqmate manageable.